I'm gonna look in the basement for this one, and I know rightfully so, we should all be high on Colorado, but that doesn't mean you can't use a player from Seattle. And for me, it's Marcus Johansson at just 2,900 in the classic slate here. Since returning from injury, he's got 3 points in 4 games. Look, Colorado hasn't exactly been a fortress to play against lately. They're giving up 3.15 goals per game. So unless you're going to use whoever their netminder ends up being, I think Marcus Johansson is just so cheap for a guy that's been playing pretty well of late. You got to consider him.
Okay, Paul, you going to the basement for your best DFS value play?
Pretty close, but I'll give you a little insight, Emerson, into my recent success in DFS play. I've developed something called the sidekick theory, which looks for those players, depth guys, who get some run with dynamic duos on a team's top line. Normally, this is a short-term or injury replacement kind of a deal. And tonight, the sidekick is Logan O'Connor for the Avs, who's filling in admirably for their injured megastar McKinnon. O'Connor, for his part, has 4 points in his last 5 games played after opening the season in the bottom 6 role, where he only scored 2 points in 8 games for this season. And that's a prototypical example of the sidekick theory. He's in line to continue his recent production level in this spot and is well worth the $4,100 price tag.
Geoff, who are you looking to for value?
Look, I don't have a theory or a fancy system like Paul, but I do like guys with great names, and Nils Hoglander definitely has one of those. So at 3,500, like I said, I think if you're looking for value tonight, I do think that going with Vancouver, like I would prefer going with the Canucks, who are taking on the Jets. Again, a backup goalie on the second end of a back-to-back and with a weak penalty kill. I would prefer going to the Vancouver Canucks around. Hoglander's 3,500. He's playing in the top 6 for the Canucks, gets you some power play exposure as well. It's a player averaging 3 shots on goal, over 3 shots on goal for 3,500. He's been really hot of late too, 4 goals in his last 4 games. So I think all things considered, like he's just too cheap for the production he's been spitting out, and maybe the matchup isn't quite as bad as the odds suggest here for DFS. So I like Hoglander a lot for value.